About Champagne Supernova is the brief was, this is a song about drugs, but the video can't be about drugs, but we want to know that it's about drugs. Well, thanks for that extremely useful piece of information. Back in those days, post was quite limited really as to what you could do. You know, when I was down there and I said, we'll have some oil wheels, because I used to be a DJ back in the 70s, so I used to have oil wheels in my disco, you know, playing on the walls. So somebody on, you know, in the run-up to the shoot, they said, well, what you need is this lens you put on the front of your camera and you just rotate it and things change shape. And that's why it's very grainy, because the glass isn't very good in the lens. And I said, well, you know, bring it down to the set. I've never seen this lens, and everybody's turning around and looking at each other and rolling their eyes, you know, all the film guys, because, of course, it's supposed to be something I'm supposed to know everything about. And we put it on the camera, and I go, that's fucking great. Let's use more. Bring the drug lens on now. During the second day, I'd actually invited my cousin to come down, who's a very respected film editor, and her two kids, of course, were two Oasis fans. So she comes down and she's totally from the film side, and she's sitting in a corner with her two kids, and halfway through a take, Liam gets up and throws whatever it is in his hands down and leaves the set. He says, I'm going to the pub, I'm not coming back, and leaves the set. So I go up to Noel and I said, your brother's just left the set and I can't make a video. And he says, what do you expect me to do about it? And I said, well, he's your brother and you're the only person I can turn to. And he said, he's a and turned around and walked off. And of course, in the corner, there's a journalist from Rolling Stone who's been sent from New York, and this journalist is frantically writing down all, you know, and I can see over Noel's shoulder, she stops and she looks up and she's wondering whether she should write the C word down, you know, in a Rolling Stone report. In the end, she was very nice and said, despite certain issues on the video sets, you know, things went swimmingly. You're stuck in the middle of a film set, you know, trying to make a video for a band, and you don't have a band, and the one person that everybody wants to see usually is the lead singer, and he's fucked off to the pub. So yeah, I mean, it was par for the course really. It's like, okay, he's wandered off, I guess I'll have to shoot the drummer shots now for a couple of hours. And eventually Liam wandered back and he'd had a couple of beers, and you know, now he's ready to do his thing again. Saying, which is, why invent when you can borrow? And that's how my process works. I wouldn't argue that I've ever had the most original ideas in the world, but I certainly try and, you know, know, suck stuff in from other places and use that, you know, as I feel appropriate. Somebody could argue that those 3 videos were, you know, Wonderwall was black and white, like early Beatles days, and Don't Look Back in Anger was sort of, you know, Help period, and Champagne Supernova was the sort of psychedelic Beatles era, if you like. I mean, I was consciously stealing from my heroes' back pages, as I'm sure Liam and Noel were.
Writing it very quickly at home in Marylebone, in the kitchen, sat at the kitchen table, and I wrote it quite quick. And I remember being, out of all the songs that I've written, I can vividly remember getting to the end of that and going, that's fucking great. And I remember thinking, that's number 1. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, that's number 1.
The director, Dawn, had the idea of it being like a Kingston and Street video, still having that music down the road.
The idea for the video came very much from the music, actually. It's scenes from a certain time.
I made up that Reese is doing it because he's a star, and he won't be full of any of them, you know what I mean? So, and plus he's one of the lads.
I've known him for a few years, you know, just from hanging out and getting into trouble here and there. Undertaker, who kind of wakes up and finds himself at his own funeral.
We were in fairly high spirits in the office today that the idea was floated. We went, yeah, top hats, great.
First in the Astoria a couple of weeks ago. Obviously I've been listening to it over and over again, trying to get the lip sync right, and it's got right under my skin. Yeah, I love it.
I'm a pallbearer. We were going to play Snap, but they didn't think it was cool enough, so someone came and taught us how to play Texas Hold'em.
I'm not playing cards, I don't know how to play Snap. It's too confusing for me. And the idea came that Reese was going to sing it and I was going to kind of just appear in it. So I loved all that. I was on set for 38 minutes. I timed it. One take it took me to have a fake shave, and that bit blowing into the razor. One take that.
You know, we're kind of taking the piss out of that whole dance routine thing anyway. You know, there's too much dancing in pop videos anyway.
Too much booty, man. Fuck, if you want the skinniest ass in the world, man, you got it. It's about kind of sitting on the ass doing nothing. Having nothing to do is the greatest job in the world. It's kind of about that, really.
The song is an ode to idleness, written from the point of view of someone who's like similar to No One, I should think.
Probably the best video. Yeah, actually, one of the times where somebody's written it on the page and you go, fucking right, that'll do.